Welcome back to Coffee Talk. Grab your coffee and join us for our talk today. Today we're going to talk about, there are basically 3 stages of life. The first stage is wanting stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You get out on your own and you want everything. Like you want the house, you want the car, you want the designer clothes or
all the special electronic stuff, the top phone, the top iPad, and all the stuff. You need the very best, the very first one that comes out.
So that's stage 1 of life, is wanting stuff. And
we all
been there.
We all do that. We did that for 2 or 3 years, and I think it's just typical, what people think. They just, when they get out from under their parents' homes, they're on their own. They want what they think is the very best, and we all do it. We go out and try to get those things.
The second stage of life is accumulating stuff. And that's when you start getting all of the stuff that you wanted in the first stage. And it begins to escalate as you get your own home, because then you need a lawnmower, and then you need a leaf blower, and then you need,
weed eater, and all that stuff. It just gets more and more.
It escalates. And then as you start having children, then they have their stuff, and it is unbelievable, the stuff that you accumulate.
All your kids want the very best video games, the newest, PlayStations, the Nintendos, the very first one I remember our kids wanted was the ping pong thing. Pong, ping. And it seemed like every 6 months there was a new game console coming out, and we just spent thousands of dollars, buying the, Christmas time and everything. The games cost, $49, $50 at that time. But it just costs a lot of money when you're, but you want to give your kids the stuff they want and everything, but it sure does add up, and you get old games and stuff, and you think, where are we going to put this stuff? And
so stuff just keeps accumulating. And so we used to have a lot of yard sales just to, get rid of stuff, because we don't live in a huge home, and so there wasn't a lot of places to put things. But, there's that stage that you want stuff, and then the big stage is the accumulating stuff stage.
For years and years.
That's the biggest stage. And then we finally come to stage 3. And that's when your kids have left home, you start getting older, and then you start saying, hey, we need to get rid of stuff. So then you start thinking about going through all this. We did this right after we retired. We took 1 day a week and went through room by room of our house until we had went through everything. And then we did the shed, and we did the barn, and we did our basement until everything was done. And then we had a huge sale and sold a lot of stuff that we didn't need. It was stuff that we had accumulated in stage 2 of our lives that we just didn't need anymore.
We got rid of a lot of stuff from 35, 40 years ago that it just laid around, and we never did anything with it, and so it was really good to know that we finally got rid of that stuff, and we didn't know we had so much empty space.
And it was freeing.
It
was freeing. You don't realize how much stuff is a burden until it's gone, and you live a more simple life with less stuff. It really is freeing. And so those are 3 stages of life that we go through, and everybody goes through it. Everybody wants stuff, and then everybody goes through the phase where you just gather and you accumulate, and it is just amazing the stuff that you accumulate, and you think, why in the world have I kept this for 20 years?
You don't realize that you're living in clutter until you get rid of all that clutter and think, wow, why didn't I do this several years ago?
And when we were cleaning out our office, for example, our office now is one of our kids' old bedrooms that we turned into an office after, he moved out. And so going through there, we found crayons from when they went to school and scissors from when they went to school. I'm like, why do we have this stuff still?
We were thinking, you know, we can't throw this away. We can't throw their old papers away. We had this, you know, small coloring papers and stuff. We had stuff when there was a little kid, or coloring papers, and we just never threw stuff away.
So what we ended up doing is we had 3 boys. So each of our children had a small little plastic bin that we decided, okay, the stuff that we absolutely can't not part with, we're going to put in this bin. Once that bin's full, then we're done. And so we ended up giving them, this is your little bin that stuff we kept over there. If you want to throw it away, you can throw it away.
They probably threw it away.
Yeah. But it's amazing. And everybody goes through it. But when you stop and you think about it, really there are 3 stages of life. We're in number 3 right now, where we're getting rid of stuff, and we need to do it again. Because it's been 3 years since we went through everything. And somehow, guys, stuff keeps creeping back in our house.
I don't know how many times we've said, you know, why did we buy this thing, whatever it was last year? We don't use it anymore. And the more and more stuff you get like that, you keep thinking, why did I buy that? Why did, you know, we're not using it. It wasn't needed. Yeah.
So it's really freeing to get rid of unnecessary stuff. And we're not minimalists by any means, but we do find that when we've gotten rid of clutter, I don't like clutter and just stuff. It's harder to clean your house. It's harder to keep things in order and straight if you have a lot of stuff. So it only makes sense, the less you have, the easier it is to keep up with everything.
Our wanting stuff now is pretty much, you know, our travels. You know, we want to do cruises. We want to travel to different states. We want to
do experiences.
Yeah. So we even have gone to the point where, you know, we would rather put money aside, like for birthdays and like even like Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever stuff. So let's just put money aside for whatever big trip that we want to go to, and you know, we don't miss out on those special occasions. We still celebrate, might go out and eat, but we put that extra money we would have spent into a trip.
Right, and neither of us, our love language is not gifts.
No.
We're both very practical, and we would rather spend our money on experiences rather than things. And not everybody's like that. You know, some people, gifts are very important to them and it speaks love to them, but we're just not that way. So
our bucket list is really more important right now than more than anything than, you know, special gifts or stuff like that. Sure, you know, every so often there'll be a little surprise gift here or there, but right now we're just, you know, we're kind of working on our bucket list and we're checking things off.
And we know that our travel time is limited because, you know, even people in great health are limited as far as, you know, how old can they be to do a lot of traveling. And we are in our prime retirement travel phase right now. So that's what we're looking toward, and that's what we're concentrating on.
And we never know when that prime time is going to end.
So let us know in the comments, what stage of life are you in? Are you in the wanting stuff? Are you in the accumulating stuff? Or are you like us in the getting rid of stuff?
Get rid of it stuff.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. If there's something you would like for us to talk about in a coffee talk, let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time on Retired and Loving It. If you'd like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen.